It's February 27th. It is Monday. You guys know the drill. Take a look at the disclosure as I listen to some earnings reports. Nothing so crazy. So far, Zoom acted best when it took out 75. Oxy's just starting to roll out. But anyway, let's get to it. My name is Scott Redler, Chief Strategic Officer at T3Live.com. Welcome to today's recap and look ahead. What can I say? The easiest money long was if you took it home Friday and came in and sold it by 9:28, or not 9:28. If you would have waited to 9:50, you would have got better prices. I did trim some along the way, but there was a push into the first half hour. But then right around 10 o'clock, the highs were in for the SPYs, the Qs, and most things. You did have Tesla make a higher high, but nothing else had any momentum. Nothing really people were in a rush for. Financials were a little strong, but then some names in tech just grinded lower. I lost money trying to trade NVIDIA a few times to break above the earnings gap, and it just didn't do it. If I would have stopped at 9:28, I was long Qs overnight. It would have been a fantastic day. But if Grandma had you-know-what, she'd be you-know-who. Anyway, so what now? Everyone's like, oh, does this mean the SPYs are going to gap down tomorrow? I don't know. All in all, still the Dow's up 72, and the Qs were up a small amount. I think that there's really no edge in being long or short that much overnight, indices wise. We could open up and then you could buy verse Friday's low, or open down. I'm sorry. We could open up down here and buy verse there and reclaim that, or we could open up and some could fade verse there, or we could open above here and then come in. So many things can happen. There's nothing blaring today to say, hey, you need to be really long. And with an oscillator still minus 41, that's oversold, but not drastically oversold. There is a little risk of, I think, of being short, especially with the Tesla event is until Wednesday. So you still have another day that they could push some things around. And then really the response to Tesla's event will give us some clues on whether or not anything could be bought high and go higher, because this has been the strongest name. So here's your new inside range. We'll see how it goes. Doesn't seem like anyone's in a rush. Again, and the easiest trade was literally from overnight or pre-market into the first part of the day. You can see it here. Here was your gap up. If you had conviction, maybe you bought the first pull in, and then there was a scalp when it took out the 5-minute high right there, and then it gave you a move, and then it just didn't hold right there, which some people would have got out right here, and then it came in. I tried buying a dip here, and then got stopped out there, and then I just didn't trade the SPYs the rest of the day. I was in the Qs, very similar. If you bought the Qs on the pull-in and you weren't long overnight, and you said, we're going to go up, day one up. You had a little bit of a spot to do that, and then it did trade above this pivot here, and maybe you could go long and added there, and then you had to get out. You had to trim some into. I did say 296, 298 was like the area, and it got to 296.50. So at least if you knew you were buying a dip into 295, you had a point of easy money, and then maybe sold some into a portion and then got stopped out of a portion and hopefully netted some money. And all in all, just a very choppy day. Tesla was one of the few names that actually went straight up and then made another new high, and then it actually made another new high. So it made a bunch of new highs throughout the course of the day before coming in a little bit. Here you had your quick low there. It made a high while the market didn't again. So I actually went with NVIDIA, and NVIDIA was not good to buy high and sell higher. I was hoping, not hoping, but my play was more, my thought was, if we hang in there and they want two things to be kind of strong, you could be a buyer of NVIDIA. I bought a little bit pre-market, and then I added here, so that was probably me buying, and then I got stopped out of some size, and then I was done with it in there, and then I tried it again, and then I got stopped out of it around here or whenever, and I lost money trying NVIDIA. Why did I try NVIDIA? Well, if you look in the video, it's still fine. Still, there's a chance that it can get above it, just from the 230 gap where it was on Friday testing to here. Just no one was in a full rush. So we'll see how it goes tomorrow, or not. I think it also wants to see what happens with with Tesla, I guess, on Wednesday. Does anything need to be bought higher, or is everything going to end up coming in a week or two once the oscillator is burnt off? Some guys made some money in Zoom. How do you trade after hours? Well, Zoom was red, came out with a decent report, got above 75, stayed above 75, and now it's at 78. Little cash flow there. Hovered, and now it's at 78. What's the next level in Zoom? The next level in Zoom is this 80-ish spot. And then this is 85. Right now it's at 78. So there's still some room. It read really well, actually. And this stock's been left for dead. It's not like it's trading here ahead of it and already stole, some from some of the move. And if you look at where it is ultimately, it's like, remember this red dog reversal top and then broke through here, and this is all where it is. It's down here. I still use Zoom here and there. Obviously, it's on the decline with COVID done, but still, it's below where it was before everyone even knew about it or something close to it. So either which way, I don't know. See how if it holds 78 now, and 80's next, and then 85, and then ultimately, what's this? This is 103. Or just wait for tomorrow. Wait for it to gap up. Let it hold the gap for a day or something. Buy versus the gap, and then maybe there's a trade there. But ultimately, here's 80 and here's 85. Qs, like I said before, were decent long. That's where I made my money today. Thank goodness I came along the Qs. It helped mitigate my, I guess, bad trading today because I did buy, thinking that maybe something can go higher. And it didn't. Ultimately, this low is what? 293.35. So it's in a point of reference. Hold on. 35. And here is what? This is 296.49. Those are the points of reference. So we have them. So you can go from a zone to points of reference. We'll see how we do tomorrow. Ultimately, this was the day to get out of some longs and get short. Here, the day to maybe test some longs and cover some shorts. And then you had this. Now we'll see if there's maybe there's an inside day tomorrow ahead of Wednesdays or not. I don't know. I'm in no rush.
89 cents.
Yeah. Let's see.
Let's see what that's. UHT, Universal Health Realty Income Trust, reporting FFO of 90 cents.
See more about
Thank you.
security.
So we'll see. See if this turns into a bit of a lower wedge. Sometimes lower wedges there. Sometimes lower wedges trigger to the upside. Sometimes they don't. Yeah, but at this point, at least you have some points of references here. Above 296, maybe you get this or more. Below 293, maybe get that. We'll see how it goes.
DDD, 3D Systems, U.S. Justice Department says 3D
3D Systems.
Pay up to $4.5 million to settle False Claims Act allegations for export violations.
Probably not good for 3D. I like to sometimes save this without the language because change the language in the morning. All in all, Tesla definitely acted well, comparably. Got above 205, which showed that it wasn't just a feeble bounce. And if there's anything that could provide a little bit of a FOMO that some things could hang around or go higher, there was this. then everything else is so damn lethargic and so nothing. Like I tried Meta, nothing. You had to take it was long, it was strong on Friday, so you had to take it Friday into today, and then today just was a sell. If you sold it, congratulations, you made money short. I didn't. Just saying, that's hard. Google's nowhere, perked up a tiny bit, but look, it's just stretched from the 8-day, made a new low. Amazon's nothing. Still below the descending trend line. It just didn't make a lower low today. Apple was decent, but still. But again, we map things out. What I say about Apple this morning, Apple broke its accelerated trend and is just a trade like most things. Friday made a low here. If we get a rally attempt, I think 148.50 to 149 is a key resistance now. And Apple went to 149, right in the zone. So at least if you knew where the zone was and you went long, it worked. Plus pre-market was only up 50 cents, so there was a trade there. But what is it showing you now? It's not showing you a whole hell of a lot. So what's this now? The new point of reference 149.17. You map out zones, and then zones can turn into points of reference because that's where the price discovery happened.
Sales of 2.1 million.
47, 45. Zoom is still trending along. I undertraded that one. That one I felt like it was going up. Went above 75. Sometimes you just got to do content. Everybody else. What's Occidental doing? They missed, but they increased their dividend. It was flattish, and now it's, hold on, down 33 cents, not a whole lot. Okay, so they're saying Oxy missed on everything, but raised their dividend and their buyback. So they can't make money, but they have a lot of money, so they could support their own stock. Okay.
AMRN, Apple, there was slides now for this.
What did Microsoft do?
Comments.
Opened up and faded. Didn't quite get to 254. Put a new point of reference in here at 252.80. Very blah day. Just to gap up like that, those are the worst. Better off gapping down and going green and giving you points of reference like that way versus opening up and then trying to feel like you worked yourself into a good position and then all of a sudden, at least today we topped at 10 o'clock. Sometimes a day like today makes you feel like you're missing something. It stays strong all the way to 11 o'clock. You work yourself into positions. You try and be smart. You try and be prudent. And then at 11:45, they pull the rug. And then any share you bought from 9:30 till 11 is now underwater after the gap up. And then you get stopped down, and then the next day it gaps back up. That's happened before. It's not fun. Anyway, it's kind of market we're in. All right, guys. SPYs are up a tiny bit after hours. Oxy's not, but I guess wait for the conference call. Qs are up a little bit after hours, not a whole hell of a lot. Again, I have no real conviction on which way we're going tomorrow. We're still a little oversold, so it's hard to be short, but nothing seems like it's in a rush. I feel like they can't break things down. I think Wednesday is going to be a big day on whether Tesla breaks above 214 to 217 or gets back below 200. If Meta holds, if NVIDIA holds 230 and breaks above 239 or breaks below 230, and not even a strong stock like that can get upside. Those are the things that are probably going to dictate the tape. Besides the TLT was up a little bit or didn't make a new low. Usually TLT is making new lows, means yields are making too high, so the market doesn't like it. TNX was market friendly today also. Didn't get above 3.97%, so when it doesn't make a new threshold, markets don't really care. Same thing with the dollar. Dollar was down a little bit, so the market was down and we were up only not so great. So some of the computer dynamics and the program dynamics didn't help us a whole bunch. So we'll see how it plays out tomorrow. All right, guys. Good night.